Don't worry, Sherry. I'll get the antiviral for you. Somebody's got to take care of you. What's going on, everyone? It's the N.E.S.T. Welcome back to Resident Evil 2 Remake. Gotta admit, the entire N.E.S.T. section is a great recreation of the labs from the original game. Obviously, there are a lot of things that had to be updated, but every now and again, you'll catch a glimpse of something where you go, oh yeah, that was in the original. There's definitely a lot more horror down here. Like, I think I was goofing on this lab the entire time back in the original Let's Play, but here? There are some nasty monsters down here. And I think this is what had to be done. Obviously, you're going to have to deal with regular zombies. That's just par for the course at this point. Yeah, they're the normal goings-on. And then something had to be adjusted. A certain enemy had to come forth and go, I volunteer as tribute to be the new thing people are afraid of. And so they did. Apart from that, I do enjoy the puzzles that are down here. I also enjoy the routing. It's extra special. And as soon as you get it down, my god, you can get it down. That was a bit redundant. Basically, what I'm saying is, as soon as you figure out the perfect route through here, you'll be flying through it in no time flat. And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm gunning for being able to finish a majority of the lab in one episode.
Our menu is designed for your nutritional needs using our latest biological research. Please enjoy our tasty selection of healthy foods.
I love that that is there and is programmed to trigger every time you go close to that zombie that's just mowing down on that corpse. That is such a great idea. Nope. Well, I guess you can tell how many takes this took. There you go, there is a Mr. Raccoon down here. Now, that zombie is actually programmed to get up once you're circling around to get to that ladder. So I think what I'm going to do is, I am not going to distract this lady from her meal. She seems to be having a good time. And right around here is when he'll start getting up. So if you just continuously run towards the ladder, you're fine. They actually keep you pretty well stocked in this section. So be sure to explore a little bit, figure out what you need, and, you know, pick up a grenade or two, or many. I could just visualize it now, because the logs are so descriptive and the environment's so well detailed. They were just about to have breakfast when all hell broke loose. It's either that or a lovely brunch. And then it all went to hell. Be very careful around here. This zombie has a bad habit of saying peekaboo so loudly that you get a heart attack, and then your neck explodes. He can either be in front of the door waiting patiently, or he can be to the right of the door and jump you and get a free bite. This is why they give you a dagger right inside that room that you drop down in. Good design, good for a cheap scare. I say cheap as though it's a bad thing. This place is dark. You gotta have stuff jumping out at you. Especially since it's so quiet. That's another thing I enjoy about the N.E.S.T. section, and the entire game in general. This game is so quiet, but has monsters screeching in the background. Oh, it's so good. And this part is no exception. Coming in here to the dining hall, and just hearing... nothing's moving, but I hear gnashing of teeth. It's just... ugh. The main reason you came here is to get the level 2 key card, but be careful, because that zombie that actually woke up and kind of left us alone after we went up the ladder, he's got his track shoes on, man. He went a long way. Yep. Right in front of the door, waiting patiently. These doors open via proximity. So if you have the little bracelet and you get close to a door, they'll automatically open.
Dr. Lee, your presence is urgently requested by Chief Cartwright in the East area.
I also enjoy that every character that used to be down here has a name and a focus. We picked up Dr. Lee's wristband, or at least the little card that is in it now. Which means, we are him. Oh dear. I think we found another one of the soldiers that may have been a part of that video we saw. This guy didn't stand a chance. He was one of the first to die.
So, the antiviral agents in the west area.
There's your big hint. We need to go to the west area. There's east and west, properly labeled. And I gotta admit, it took me a while because of the different camera angles from the original game. But this is a pretty good recreation of the giant lab section.
Senior staff clearance required for bridge access.
It's cool once it suddenly pops into your head and goes, wait a minute, that does look familiar, oh my gosh. I mean, it seems ridiculous. I mean, why would a lab have access via pushing buttons and wristbands to bring out an extendo ladder so that you can cross over in this giant chasm? Pretty silly, but in order to protect secrets, I guess? Cool. Built-in fog machine. Okay, cool. Another save spot. There wasn't one too far away, but this is nice. It's good to have a little hub. And bring some of your best stuff. I'm not saying prepare for war like I normally would for a boss fight, but you're gonna want your killing implements, because we're gonna need to kill some stuff. And, bring at least one self-defense item, just in case. Now that your daily dose of ASMR via Resident Evil 2 is finished. Ugh. What the?
Oh, God. That's terrible.
Yeah, he got attacked by Audrey 2. I wonder how many people understand that reference in this day and age. If you do, you're my friend.
Senior staff clearance required for computer access.
Yeah, look at that. You have to have the correct wristband in order to get in. It's like going to an amusement park. Oh, here it is. What I felt when I finally saw the vegetation and plant life, I thought, oh, come on! No giant spiders, but you're bringing the plants back? No! I mean, they weren't that bad in the original. But you know how I kind of foreshadowed that one monster had to get an evolution? Oh boy. Let's talk about the new guy in town.
The bitch!
The Ivies. If Chief Irons was able to get the award for most developed douchebag, the Ivies get the biggest improvement award on monster design. The Ivies move sporadically. You saw that thing move. It's even worse than the zombie movement. They move. Their rattling is bone-chilling. These monsters got an overhaul in the best way possible. And for a beginner, yikes.
Dispensing solution now.
We got a bad case of a plant infestation, so bad that it actually overtook human beings. Oh god, I always hate these things. There we go, 1111. Damn it! How about 1112? Okay, we'll actually figure out the code. The Ivies were made extra terrifying because of their new mechanic. Originally, you could shoot them with bullets and kill them. Same thing can happen here, but you need a precise shot. The bulbs that you see on an Ivy deal massive damage to them. And in fact, you can kill an Ivy by only shooting the bulbs. There is an achievement for that. But when all else fails, fire. Like actual fire. Obviously, you can burn plants with a big old dose of flames. Fire! Let them burn! But one problem, though. You notice how they're flailing around, they're on fire and everything? They're still alive. Ivies have an enormous amount of HP compared to a regular zombie, compared to a licker. Even if you shoot them and incapacitate them with fire, they don't stay down. Later on, I'll show you a good way to signify on whether an Ivy is truly dead or not. For the most part, I would say avoid them. Their main evolution comes in their new difficulty spike. We need to kill these things in the harshest way possible. We need to get an herbicide. Destroy these plants. Yeah, astounding growth. They actually thought of a way to deal with their monstrosity just in case it went berserk. And it did, and they weren't able to, but they at least wrote down the notes. There's another code that we need to figure out, or a code that we need to figure out. So this entire section is all based on finding the special code in order to progress. We can't make the herbicide unless we know the code. This is another one of those that does not change through subsequent playthroughs, so if you know the solution, you can go for it. But be careful, Scenario A does not have the same solution as Scenario B. Real quick, since we do know a combination, I don't know why it took me this long to figure this out, but do you notice how we have special Tetris blocks for this keypad? If you need an easier way to figure this out, here's a visual with the negative space filled in. There are actual numbers on this keypad, but the blocks are taking up the negative space, and the negative space becomes the actual numbers. The main difficulty spike for an Ivy, besides them being just sporadic to hit, and the bulbs are a very difficult thing to shoot, they are a very rare example of a one-hit kill enemy to the player. They have an insta-kill attack every time. The only way to survive them, besides, you know, pumping them full of fire and bullets, is with a self-defense item. That's the only way to get them off you. If you don't, you die. You find that out the hard way the first time, and then you never make that mistake again. Thankfully, the Ivies show up few and far between. Obviously, they're going to be with their plant brethren, but after that, you get a breather. Not for long, though, because there's still dangerous monsters around here. No power, huh? Well, unless you talk about me, Claire Redfield, and I've got all the power. In fact, my power is so beefy, I know which zombies are gonna get up. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 zombies are programmed to get up when you turn the power on. And also after one specific event happens. So if you get rid of them now, you don't have to worry about them. It's a nice try. Oh, look at that. That's the code to the herbicide. They posted it on the bottom of their trophy so they wouldn't forget. That's so clever. Maybe it's best that they didn't write it down. In the pandemonium, somebody might have just picked up the paper and set it on fire for no reason. That gets me every time. And it will happen every time. In fact, if you listen closely, that licker that fell in front of you, he's not alone. There was a second one. So what I like to do in that situation is definitely blast the one that's directly in front of you and then just run past. Don't worry, we'll have to be back later. Here's a freebie for you. See that guy? There. Now you won't have to deal with him when he falls naturally and then gets up right in front of you. See, there are actually quite a few enemies that just show up, but if you know where to look, you can knock them out before they even get to you. It's great. I know I keep mentioning it, but the fact that I knew that there was a zombie in this room before I actually saw it is some of the most top-notch audio mixing I've ever heard. You could even tell there was something in front of it blocking its initial growl. It was behind a box. That's so good. Everyone's turned to a veggie! Keep coming back again and again. Burn them all. Burn them until their whole body is black as ash. That is your hint on truly killing the Ivies. And this right here is our ticket to turning the lights back on. Sweet. Let's go do that. Before you leave, though, there you go. Now you've made a complete loop. God, that feels good. Let's go ahead and drop off a couple things. We don't need all of this stuff. There we go. Now, let's go one more loop around. And why don't I give an example on how to truly kill an Ivy? Because your second time through, wouldn't you know it, another one shows up. In fact, this was the one that was hanging from the ceiling. When you shoot an Ivy, you will deal so much damage to it if you use fire that it will fall over because you popped all the bulbs. Now, what you can do is, once it falls on the ground, if you continuously shoot the bulbs as they regrow back, you can actually kill them. But as that note said, you need to wait for them to be as black as ash. That's not black as ash because there's still some green left. There you go. Do you see how this cutscene fire is coming up? Once you see that there are nothing but skeleton, that's when you know you have fully burned an Ivy and it will never return. That took a while for me to figure out, but thankfully that note was there. Alright, so that code on the bottom of the trophy... It's 20667? Yes. Okay. Now we can go make the herbicide, and after you've put in the code, you no longer need that trophy. Let's go make some weed killer. I hope they don't mind that I kill all their friends, oh yeah. Yeah, even though we shot those Ivies with flames, they just stand back up like nothing happened. Okay. This puzzle has dumbfounded everyone that I've talked to who have tried to do this puzzle.
To match cartridge capacity.
It is the silliest solution ever, and it works every single time. Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Do you understand the pattern yet? It is the same pattern every single time, and this is the solution for the Scenario A puzzle. And doing it in this way, finding out the trick, you do get an achievement for the least amount of moves made. There we go. There's the herbicide. Now, in order to make it actually kill Plant 43, we need to deep freeze it. So we just need to make our way back. There's a freezer downstairs, and if we do that, we'll be good. I would say another good strategy against these Ivies is, after you shoot the bulbs, they are stunned for a little bit. That's your best option to run past them in case you don't want to kill them, or if you're going extremely fast. We also need to turn the lights on, but there are lickers around here, so let's play a little game here. They can either be in this hallway. Okay, they're not. Which means they're in the middle of this room. Perfect. Now, I can't remember if this is the one I shot, or if the one behind it is the one I shot, but either way... And up! Please go, go! Ooh! Okay! That nearly went pear-shaped! Holy crap! Alright, was that enough? Ragdoll for me. Oh, no! Whew. Okay. There are certain things you gotta look for when waiting for an enemy to die. This should be enough damage for it to ragdoll. Ragdoll? I think it ragdolled. This one died, surprisingly. That's good. Okay, we're in the clear. This isn't a puzzle per se, but I do like it. We need to send it to Murph. And then we need to match the waves here. There we go. And now we can supply power to Murph. Ah, there we go. No more darkness. Goodbye, darkness, my old friend. Oh, wow, the slash marks are still in the wall. I figured those were just temporary. The power of the Xbox Series X. I think it happens with every single version, but sometimes I like to poke fun of the console I chose. I chose both, but, you know, I can honestly make fun of both of them because of the silly choices they've made. Okay, we are on the proper floor to go cool off this herbicide. Yeah, there isn't too much that I need to adjust here. I won't need too much ammunition going forward. Later on, I'll definitely need some, but right now, we're good. We're good. This is a safety save, just in case. You never know what could happen. Except I do. I'm just kidding. Let's go cool this place off. Not the place, the herbicide. Let's make it actually able to kill plants.
Welcome back, Dr. Lee. You have 5 new messages.
Let's see. Yeah, Cartwright. Shish. Oh, this is the guy that had the trophy. Nice. Ooh, okay. Cartwright's a bit of a dick. Oh, that just went south immediately. Jeez. Oh, Plant 43 just blossomed overnight. Jesus. Wait! Thanks, Rick, I guess. The strange change in tone for that was it's just really funny. Alright, cool this down.
Damn. Should have packed my parka.
Cooling sequence in progress.
This is a skippable cutscene, but I just like to watch it go. Just reminds me of the old days in the original. Beautiful. The herbicide has now officially been made. We can kill Plant 42. 43, excuse me. It's a different plant.
Cooling complete.
It's still kind of cool where I'm standing. Whew. Woo! Alright. Now that we're out of there, let's peace out. I truly thought that lady zombie was going to stand up, but never does. Maybe he's too cold. Yeah, it's actually faster to go this way. I was thinking if there was anything on that wing that I didn't get, but I think it's easier to come this way. Also, there's the possibility that an ivy might be on that other side now. See, sometimes monsters, they just show up after a certain flag is posted. So, yeah, let's not let that happen.
I can
Hello.
do this.
Do you like fire? Yeah, he likes fire. Look at him. He just loves it. There you go, Claire. I'll warm you up a little bit. Having you walk through actual flames. Okay, I'm very surprised it hasn't happened yet. Sometimes, and I think this is only for Claire's scenario, after a certain point, an ivy just shows up in this room. So we'll see what happens, but yay! We have destroyed the plant!
So much for the weed infestation.
Warning. You have dispersed a dangerous solution without authorization. Your actions have been logged, and you may be subject to disciplinary measures.
Oh, sorry for that, Dr. Lee. You're gonna have to deal with that. Don't think you're 100% safe, by the way. The Ivies have advanced so much in their evolution that they are immune to the weed killer. It only served to piss them off. Now, what I like about this entire segment is, if you summarize it, like I've done a few times in this Let's Play, we did all of that for a level 3 key card. We destroyed an entire plant infestation just so we would be a senior manager. Hell yeah! Destroyed the plant life! Woo! Down with the Ivies! Let's get out of here. I've had enough with these things. Ah! It did show up! Oh. It did show up! Okay, yeah, there's that. You can deal with that, I guess. This guy, I'm not even gonna kill him. We don't need to kill anything anymore. Let's just get the frig out of here. But after reading some important email... Ooh... Man, a lot of people were trying to figure out the secret of the G virus. Oh, that's me! That was an automated email to me! To me, Dr. Lee. Yep, that's me. So, a little bit of post-Niskel here. There was actually some handgun bullets I forgot, but as I left and came back, no joke, the Ivy I joked about actually showed up. So, yes, an Ivy does spawn after you do all the stuff with the herbicide, and it's here mainly just to scare you if you try to come back to this particular section. So if you really were anal retentive about picking up these handgun bullets, I would say just skip them. And now that we have the ability to turn the lights on, let's go ahead and do that for this section. If we turn the power on, we might be able to get some goodies. Yeah, I know there's a zombie still in the... Where did you come from? Alright, sir. Let's not. And say we did, okay? Muff. Maybe because it doesn't have the second F, it's a muff. Or muff. Isn't muff slang? Is Capcom teaching me British slang? Whatever, just turn the power on. And there is a Mr. Raccoon in here, and I don't have my handgun. God damn it. God damn it. Alright, well, I'll have to come back. He actually lunged. Speaking of lunging, stop it! I shot acid in your I need a handgun. 1 second. Bye. 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 Okay. Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. I could have had everything in one swoop, and I didn't. Sheesh. There we go. Not the final Mr. Raccoon, but it is the final one for Claire's scenario. Uh-huh. So, at the point where everything started going tits up, it seemed it was every man for themselves, to the point where people were just sabotaging everything. Plant 43 was going crazy, everybody started dying. It was a whole friggin' mess.
I gotta find that antiviral agent soon.
Logs are meant to fill in the gaps of your story as you're trying to... What the hell happened to my... You... Okay. That was weird. Huh. I lost my train of thought. I thought my game crashed. Jesus. Oh, logs. Yeah, Resident Evil does logs really well. It helps you fill in the gaps on what exactly happened in the place you're currently in. And this videotape will definitely fill in some gaps. Do need to turn the power on, though. That shouldn't be too difficult. Just wanted to do one quick sweep. Us! I might be weird in this case. I love tones like that. I know some people who can't stand just droning tones, but the ones in here I'm okay with because they're not shrill. They're just a nice, pleasant note. I can deal with those.
Got eyes on the G-Virus.
We're going in.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us, quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire! What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive. We're in, sir. But we had a snafu. Target resisted. We had to take him out. That's correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples, then. Let's move.
Huh. So the actions of gunning down the guy who made the G-Virus basically forced his hand into infecting himself with his own creation and going berserk, causing all of this. That... Jesus. My God. And now we get to actually read Birkin's emails. And you see it slowly goes downhill. In fact, I think it's this one. Yep, right here. The breach of contract. Claiming ownership of G. That's not good. That's our creation that you are making. And so they went in to collect G, and the unfortunate event happened. I know there's a better way to put that, but Yeah, they went in to collect G, what William Birkin was working on, and then he went berserk. Filling in the blanks is what Capcom does best. It does good for your survival horror to see everything after the fact. Now, a fun little tidbit, while we're heading to this last lab here, I had a suspicion ever since I fought G1 on who Birkin's voice actor was. I had heard it when he fell down the pit, when his humanity kicked back in. I was like, is that? And then I heard him speak in the flashback, and I was like, oh my god, that's Frank West. TJ Rotolo, what's up? Capcom does still like you. Yay. In a game filled with brand new talent as far as the Resident Evil franchise goes, it's good to hear a familiar voice. Speaking of familiar, this place might look familiar because we just saw it in the video. Ooh. You might just think this is normal science babble. It's very specific about what happened with all the test subjects for G. This goes over how the testing worked, what the results were on certain test subjects, the fact that some of them may have been resistant to the G virus, and you can actually see William's bloodstain still on the floor. And great, we've got nothing. We might have to think outside our item box.
Damn it. Look at that. All right. Hell yeah. Got it. Oh, thank God. The antiviral agent. Gotta get back to Sherry.
That is why Chief Irons wanted the pendant. It was the literal key to getting something on William Birkin. And now that we know that it truly wasn't Warner Brothers, it was William Birkin who was asking for the extra security. So now we know who Chief Irons was working for. That's cool. It all comes together in a neat little package. We now have the antiviral agent, which means we have the means to cure Sherry. Next time on Resident Evil 2 Remake. Hint hint, prepare for war. We need to get back to Sherry with the antiviral. They actually seem happy in that photo. I know they all have a case of stone face, but they look pretty happy. See you guys next time. Ooh, William had an aquarium down here. Maybe this was to occupy Sherry's time with the 0 fish.